Alright, this is going to be the beginner's guide to spraying Ultra 9K. Customer brought in this used tailgate. We've got to spray it PSC, billet silver. We're going to start with sealer. This is currently in 400 grit and red Scotch Brite. I degreased it, I cleaned it with glass cleaner, and then went ahead and waxed the grease remover, tack ragged it. Now it's ready for sealer. P30 sealer with S45 converter. You need to use a gun that actually lays stuff down nicely. This doesn't flow all that well, so spray it how you would clear coat, okay? Like I mean that, like spray it wet. If you want it to lay flat, you have to spray it flat. So let's go ahead and get some sealer on here. Alright, so like I said, you want to spray this stuff how you want it to look, right? So it doesn't do a whole lot of flowing. I did use US 3 reducer, so this stuff will dry within like 10 minutes. But yeah, just spray it nice and wet, nice and smooth. Exactly what we're looking at here. I'm going to go ahead and go mix up base coat, and I'll show you guys how to spray the base coat wet on wet and how to set up for your drop coat, because it's a little bit different than other paint lines. You don't do all of it wet on wet at the same time. So I'll explain that in just a second. If you're watching this and you're new and you're spraying PSC for the first time, spray out Field Day Yellower. I'm not kidding when I say that like 90% of the time, that's the variant that I go with. And again, on this job, this matches great. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. All right, so I have base coat mixed up. I'm gonna use my Dv1. I have a 1.4 nozzle. I'm going to do these two coverage coats at 20 psi. I'm going to spray these wet on wet. With this base coat, you do your coverage, everything wet on wet. My first coat is going to be a really tight overlap. I'm going for coverage. My second coat, I'm going to back up just slightly, a few inches off the panel, and then I'm going for orientation, or just smoothing everything out, right? Once that dehydrates, which happens pretty quickly, we'll drop coat it. I'll show you how I set the gun up for that as well. But this is full fan, full fluid, 20 psi. Let's get some coverage on this. We'll go back. Like that. All right, and like you can see, I sprayed that pretty wet. And that was all wet on wet, no flash. But basically that first coat, it was super tight overlap, letting everything wet out. The second coat I backed up, still a tight overlap, but I'm just trying to smooth all the metallics. Waterborne base, if you're brand new to this, is going to look blotchy. Once it dehydrates and all the water content comes out, it's going to look a lot smoother. But we'll run through how I'm going to set this gun up for that drop coat. I basically take the fluid needle and I wind this all the way in so it bottoms out. So right there, so you see the little notch? Come out one turn and a quarter, and then I'll turn my pressure down to 12 psi. The reason I do that is I don't want my drop coat to wet out at all. Like I don't need it to. If it wets out, that can cause metallic shifting around and cause mottle or blotchiness. But you basically are kind of just going to dry spray this thing and just orient everything perfectly, okay? So let me dehydrate this. I'm gonna just put that blower stand on. It'll just take a few minutes and then we'll drop coat it. All right, so that's dehydrated. as you can see, it evened out. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and we'll get our drop coat on there. And one thing to note when I do this, I am going to kind of turn the gun on a 45. I find that if you just spray it 90 degrees, when those metallics hit the surface, they can kind of shift around. If you just turn it slightly, it just lays everything down nicer. I don't know, maybe it's overcomplicating it, but that's just how I do it. That's it. All right, and that's our drop coat done. See everything laid out, super easy. So Ultra 9K is simply Dv1 900. Like, people seem to think that, like, I think 9K is the best paint line. I don't think that. I think this paint is very, very easy to use. Color match is pretty good. The big issue that I have with Sherwin-Williams, like the actual company, we don't have great tech reps. All of those are long gone. They work for different companies now. Thankfully, I have relationships with them, and they don't innovate. Instead of innovating and like coming out with new things, they just buy it. That's like this base coat was a part of the Valspar acquisition. It's just a relabeled product. It works fantastic. So if you're switching to this, don't be afraid of it. Like, this stuff's super easy. I have a ton of YouTube videos explaining how to spray like different things with it, but in no way, shape, or form do I think that this is like the best paint line to go with. I think it works pretty good. We've been a Sherwin shop for a long time, but I definitely think that Sherwin is lacking and making really bad corporate decisions. They don't innovate. That's my biggest issue. We don't have direct to plastic sealers. We don't have DTM sealers. We don't, I mean, there's a lot of little things that other companies have that we don't have. Our computer software isn't as nice as other companies. Like, it's just, they haven't come out with a new clear coat in God knows how long, you know. That's the frustrating part, but it is what it is, man. The base coat works pretty good. Let me get this clear and I'll show you what it looks like. And if you're new to Sherwin, don't let them give you 200. They'll say the CC 200 is great. Some people like it. I'm gonna tell you right now, it dies back. You can't buff the shit. Just use CC 250. This and CC 950 for overalls is pretty much what I stick with. 250, there is a little bit of a learning curve. Like, you need to spray it how you want it to look, meaning just like the sealer, like spray it flat, you know what I mean? There's not a whole lot of flow that happens with this, so I mean, you can use US 5 and US 6 reducers to really level stuff out for a second. That does help, but this stuff buffs way better. It holds a gloss way better than CC 200 ever has or will. I will die on that hill. This is a better clear coat, so definitely just try to use CC 250, 950 for big stuff. All right, and that's after 2 coats of clear. Again, this is CC 250. I did use US 5 reducer. Because this is a used gate, I do have a couple of nibs that I'm gonna have to polish out, but I'm glad I used CC 250 because that's not a big deal. But remember, like, this paint line is very, very easy, man. Like, it's not groundbreaking. It's not overly complicated. The only difference between this and like Spies High Tech as far as like application goes is you're doing your drop coat at the end, okay? If you guys want another video like this showing how I blend it, obviously I have YouTube videos doing that, but I can make a video like this kind of point of view. If you guys want something like that, just let me know. But yeah, if you're switching to this paint line, don't stress out. It's super, super easy. Honestly, the guys that say 9K sucks probably suck as painters, because this is just dumb easy.